Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to your reading for January, Aries. It's good to see you guys again. Happy New Year. You guys are the first reading that I'm doing for the new year, and I'm very happy to be here and that you're joining me once again. If you are returning, welcome. If this is your first time stopping by, this is going to be the general reading for January for Aries, of course. Let's go ahead and get into it here, Aries. Following suit with what we've been doing in the months prior, any songs that came through when I was thinking about your energy for January, you guys will find those songs in the description box below. I'd like to thank you for all of the likes and welcome to all the new awesome subscribers that have joined. We're gonna get a couple more shuffles here and then pull the overall energy, and then we'll get right to it and see what's gonna come through for January for you. All right. Overall energy for January, we have the Six of Swords. Aries, I feel like there are a lot of things that you guys want to leave behind in 2020. There's just a lot that I feel like there's a lot of the same. And I just feel like there is this hunger for new. There's this hunger for more. You want there to be less stress. You don't want your the endeavors that you take on to be obstructed in any way, shape, or form. Like I feel like you guys want those victories that are certain. You don't want to be held back by your own thoughts or held back by the influences of people around you. And that starts, of course, with identifying where those obstacles are. There is some internal work that needs to be done when it comes to starting the new year. That's going to make it so you take advantage of all those opportunities that are before you. That's going to make it so you don't drop the ball when it's on your side of the court, when it needs to matter the most, or when it matters the most. I think that there are a lot of experiences that you guys had in the most recent year. It's crazy, you know, like, yes, a year, this past one, 2020, it just went by so fast. And I feel like that's because it was so eventful. But I feel like for as many good experiences, there were many painful ones. And I feel like you start off the new year making peace. You start off the new year making peace with those experiences. And I feel like in order for you guys to manifest anything, in order for you guys to take advantage of the auspicious time of year, especially auspicious for you because Mars will be in Taurus on January 4th, it does require that. I feel like you guys are trying to get grounded. You guys are trying to get grounded. You need to get grounded. And the Eight of Swords space is one that you guys are all too familiar with. These are those obstacles that I was talking about. I feel like it has its, those obstacles have their roots in manipulation. Those obstacles have their roots in the omission of the truth, or just bold-faced dishonesties or lies, you know, the things that mislead us, the things that look a certain way, but when we get close to them, they end up not being all that we thought they would be. They're all form and no substance. The beginning of the year gives you an opportunity here in January for you to recognize and see those for what they are, and you know, become really familiar with those patterns, become really familiar with those traps, so that when you begin to work here towards your future, when you begin to build your life, you can go about it in a more focused way. Your thoughts are less scattered. You're less distracted. Your thoughts are less scattered. You are less distracted, and you're more. You've reached that level of equilibrium that's going to be required for you to succeed, and that can be in anywhere in your life. But what we're talking about is just the experiences that you guys have gone through, the peace that you're making with them, and how necessary it is for you to wrap those up neatly and understand them, so that they don't keep you in this space of imbalance or uncertainty. And the earth energy, and all the earth energy, I think we can really make good use of that in January, in order for us to get grounded, not let our imagination run wild, and not spend too much time beating ourselves up about the things that we weren't able to manifest in 2020. And it's especially important that you don't do that, because I do think that there were a lot of things that you guys were able to get done. And I feel like sometimes with you, Aries, you want to do so much. There's I feel like you set the bar very high for yourself, and many times, admittedly, you do reach that bar. And I feel like if you perform in any way less than perfection, you end up taking it out on yourself, and you think yourself into oblivion, and it makes you unsure. It's kind of like a pass-fail way of going about things. And I feel like the air signs have really made things particularly hard. And I find that in a lot of my readings, I do tend to talk about the past quite a bit. That's just because it's so juicy. There's so much there to learn. And if we want to know what's going to happen in the future, which of course I would argue that tarot is a means to answer some questions that we may have about what's to come. And that's my ultimate goal here, is to offer guidance, and I hope that you're able to garner information that will be useful to you from these readings. So I find it necessary to acknowledge the past. It is your friend. The wisdom gained from your past experiences is it's priceless. And I do get the impression here that going into the new year, the air signs are going to be on your mind, or you're going to be on the mind of the air signs in your life. It's looking like it could be a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, and many times we say that it could be any of them, but really there's a representation of each of them on the table right now. So I just feel like, yes, the air signs in your life they've played a prominent role in your upbringing. They've played a prominent the relationships that are existing and the ones that have fallen away. They have each taught you something about yourself. They've each expanded your mind in some way, shape, or form. And if you guys are not dealing with any air signs, or if you don't know the sign of the person who's on your mind right now, or who you find yourself thinking about, then yes, of course, this could be you that's embodying that air energy. You have a very airy start to the year, where I feel like, yes, you are. I think that the threshold for dishonesty, the threshold for malpractice or any injustices, it has decreased significantly. And I don't think it was ever really, like, I don't think that it was ever something that you willingly tolerated, or you know, no one wants to be misled. No one wants to be misunderstood. No one chooses that. And I think that one of the many questions that you're wrestling with in the new year is, how can you cut out any room for interpretation when it comes to the way that you guys are treated? Cut out any room for interpretation or miscommunication or mishandling of your plans in a way that is going to throw them out of balance, in a way that's gonna, you know, throw a wrench in them and leave everything come crashing down. So this Libra energy, I do think it's very wise that you guys embody this, the thing that Libras are very good at. And you guys have this in common. You guys are on, you guys are similar but not identical in the way that you both are very capable of making just decisions. You guys are the emperor. I feel that when it comes to handling business and get it done, you know how to do that all day. When it comes to knowing what's right for you, when it comes to knowing what is right for others as well, I feel like you guys do right by people. You guys do well by people, and Libras do this as well. You know, Justice card, here it is. But the difference in between you and Libra is that a lot of times I feel that it is built into your DNA. It's a part of your bloodline, being the Emperor. And Libra, it's their MO, it's their occupation. It's like it's the way that they show up. So you guys are similar but not identical. It's something that you are born with, and it's something that Libra masters. So this setup here on the table speaks of you guys mastering this, or mastering your mind, becoming the master of your fate, by way of not allowing your thoughts to rule you, by deliberately manifesting. You absolutely have the capability to achieve very great things this year, but if you don't have a plan, it just makes it that much harder on you, doesn't it? So finding the pleasure in a slower decision-making process, I think, will prove to be very beneficial for you in January, is the advice here. There is that particular method of decision-making. It has its strengths, Aries. You rule with an iron fist, and you know what's right the vast majority of times. But I think that taking a bit more time to look at all the data, look at all the facts, really assess the information around you, really use all of your resources, your past experiences being one of those. It makes it easier for you to be more comfortable with the way that your life is unfolding. It enables you to have more control, and most importantly of all, it enables you to have more follow through when it comes to your plans, because we have a very good start to our plans, Aries. And then things kind of, die down, everyone around us, they look to us for the leadership. They look to us for the initiative and the execution. But this time around, we need to also be thinking about the aftermath. We need to be thinking about the long game. We need to be thinking about the big picture, what it's going to look after we start. I think that there's going to be many blessings in the new year for you. It looks profitable, but you have to stay balanced. You have to stay 10 toes down. You have to stay grounded and be resolute. And I feel like there needs to be sustained effort in order for you to see long-term success in your relationships, see long-term success in your careers. It starts with really getting a good look at yourself and really getting a good look at what you want, getting a good look at what you desire, getting a good look at what is going to be good for you, what works for you, and getting a really good look at what doesn't work for you any longer, so that you can finally stop fighting the battles that you've been trying to win. Yes, you're an emperor, but the war doesn't have to last for your lifetime. There are bouts of peace in between those wars, in between those battles, and (2021) can be one of those for you. But only if you're brave enough to close the cycles, only if you're brave enough to let go of some of your control and channel that energy that you use to win those wars, and focus on exercising and training a new muscle, learning how to wield a different kind of sword. I think that it's going to prove to be very beneficial for you in the long run. Thank me later. So, one of those wars that you've been fighting, it most definitely has been, it has taken a toll on your heart. And I think that you've been longing for a very long time for something real. You've been longing for a very long time for something stable, for something fair. I feel like you've put up with a lot of unfairness for a very long time, and the weight of it all, I feel, has gotten to a point where it's too much to carry. So how do we allow ourselves to be more vulnerable? Or how do we allow ourselves to be vulnerable once again? Because of how honest and straightforward you are, and you let me rephrase. The lesson here in the cards is that you are more choosy, that you're more discerning when it comes to who you allow in. I think it's really important that you guys pay attention to the red flags instead of running past them. I think that it's important that you guys heed those warnings and listen. Instead of being fixated on the aesthetic and wanting what you want so badly that you are willing to look past things that you know are not sustainable, look past things that you know are not fair, that you don't deserve, that are beneath you. And I don't want it to sound like I'm placing all the blame on you, because there are contributing factors that we don't have control over. And hey, I just told you that you need to give up some of your control as well. And one of those contributing factors is it is dishonesty. So that's something to be aware of. And learning the lesson is absolutely required and is recommended here. And just be careful not to beat yourself up if you find that someone was lying to you. It's important that you don't take that out on yourself, because it doesn't mean that you didn't master the lesson. It doesn't mean that you were that you didn't get better at inviting what it doesn't mean that you that you didn't learn the lesson. It doesn't mean that you didn't that you weren't careful this time around, or that you weren't carrying yourself in a way that proves that you are learning, that you are growing, that you are developing. Because I do think that you have gotten better at making up your mind, and you have gotten better at understanding your worth and your value, and knowing what is real and what is not real. I just don't want you to take the blame when you find out that someone was misleading you, or because it's not you're not the one that's wrong in that situation. There isn't anything that's wrong with your picker. We can always get better at detecting it. And what are some of the ways that we can? We can ask more questions. We can keep a good record. And when we ask those questions, we can listen. And we can weigh those responses against our principles, against the standards that we have. And that's not easy, because it takes more time. It's so much easier to just charge through, and it's so much easier to ignore the warnings. But that, I feel like, as with anything here, not just in matters of the heart, but when it comes to manifesting, if the career goals that you have, the things that you want to accomplish here in the new year, there are some things that are going to take time. There are some things that are going to have to be approached in a different way. You're going to have to approach them slower, more methodical. That's what that Mars and Taurus energy is going to want you to do. That's what that new moon in Capricorn in the middle of the month, I think it's on the 13th or the 14th, is going to want you to do. Capricorns are very good at finishing a task that they start, because they don't overlook the work that needs to be done. Earth signs are all this way. So make use of this earth energy that way in January, and I think that that will most definitely benefit you. I'm gonna grab some water, and then we're going to start clarifying these a bit more, and we'll get some more info, and I can let you know a bit more about what to expect. One sec. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it here and start clarifying these a bit. We're gonna go through this a bit faster because I kind of talked your ear off in the first part, but let's see if we can break this down a bit more and get a bit more info before I let you go. So, Six of Swords. All right, you're trying to find out now. So, Six of Swords clarified by the Six of Pentacles. I think that you guys are moving towards a more prosperous future. I think that you guys are moving towards moving towards prosperity. I think that one thing to look forward to is the settling of old debts that you guys had, and I think that coming up with a really solid plan, if you are trying to get a handle on your debt, if you're trying to get a better handle on your finances, I think that now, you know, this now that Mars is in Taurus and you have all this earth energy around you, it's going to be really great for you guys to really, you know, put pen to paper and come up with a solid spending plan, come up with a budget. It's a great time to balance those checkbooks, King of Swords. And I feel like you guys have a this is that air energy that we were talking about here that you are embodying, which is going to help you do this in a very successful way. I think you're going to be able to make very level-headed decisions that are going to set you up for success for the year to come. And I think that you're going to be able to relax a bit more if you feel like you have a plan that is that works for you. If you guys are dealing with an air sign, here they are making an appearance. The air sign may want to make some kind of apology to you, but I feel like I don't know, Aries. I don't know if you guys want to let this back in, and that's not me telling you what to do. It's just the Eight of Swords that's here. I feel like I get the impression that this is not the first time that they're making an appearance. I get the impression that this is not the, you know, you have, you've watched this movie before. You know the way that this unfolds. Four of Wands, or do you? I think that you may be expecting the worst when the air sign makes a reappearance, but I do think that they may have had a coming to Jesus moment or have gone through a kind of awakening of their own. It's important that we understand the same way that we are growing and developing. If there is sincerity, I do think that people do have the capacity for change, but I don't think that you should overthink this or drive yourself crazy trying to question their intentions. But it's important that you guys ask questions. Ask questions and really make sure that you seek to understand the truth. You know, in tandem with your instinct is what I think is going to be key here when it comes to maneuvering these waters safely, when it comes to deciding whether or not this person can be trusted. And when you get the answers to those questions, it's important that you guys listen and that you ask follow-up questions, and that you have patience with yourself and you have patience and compassion with others as well. But you do really need to think very carefully about what you want to entertain and what you don't want to entertain. It's important here that you don't settle. If there's something that you know that you've grown out of, if there's something that you know cannot stand, is not sustainable, and that you will not put up with, I don't care how attracted you are, I don't care how alluring or how perfect this person seems or how idyllic the life with them looks. If it's going to drive you to a point, you know, a point of madness, or if it's going to make you question, if it's going to make you question yourself, and if it's going to make you question your value, then it's not good and it's not healthy for you. Life experience, that is the Judgment card coming out next. Very, very appropriate. Yeah, guys, so my advice here to you would be to practice good judgment. I think you should call it like you see it. I think that sugarcoating your feelings, I think that and allowing someone to sugarcoat their own, or allow them to feed you dreams or mislead you, is going to be an exercise in futility. It's going to be a waste of time. And I think that that's something that you have done enough of, and there isn't really any time for you to entertain any lost causes here in the new year. I want to grab an oracle here for this High Priestess Judgment card moment up here. So use your head, use your heart, and use your voice. It's going to take all of your strength to not get sucked back into a cycle that you've worked so hard to close. We get next here, melancholy and money. Interesting. I think that there are some fears surrounding finances. I think that you may find out I don't know if these are external influences that have been impacting your money, or if this is just realizations that you're coming to about these spending habits that you personally have. But I do think that there's a lot of information to be gathered here. There is going to be this looks like a lack mindset that is changing. If you guys have had any goals in life, or you know that if you guys have had anything that you wanted to see in your life, but you felt like you were held back, or that you couldn't really take advantage of those opportunities because money was a problem, I think that that's something that is going to be changing here for you. It starts with your, you know, the way that the way that you view it. I'm laughing because Vision Quest came out as I said that. It starts with the way that you view it, and I do think that you can be a bit more open-minded. There's so much that you guys can accomplish, and when it comes to finances, you know, like if that's something that you guys really want to see an increase in, you're not limited in any respect when it comes to earning that. So I think it's important that you guys let go of any old ideas that you had about how much you thought that you would be able to earn, because there's a whole world out there filled with opportunities for you guys to make much more, but you have to believe that you are deserving of it. You have to believe that you are worthy of it. I want to get a couple for the air sign, so I can give you some more advice about how to handle this. King of Swords and the Lovers could definitely be a Gemini that you guys are dealing with. We picked up on that earlier. So what's going on with this Gemini? What do they have to say? We know that there's been some reminiscing either by you or by them. And we get the Four of Swords. Allow more time before making a decision. Yeah, guys, don't rush this. If this person is coming in hot, I don't think that you don't feel like you need to match that intensity. And it's going to be tempting because I do think that there's a lot of attraction here. So it's going to be tempting, especially if you're being told exactly what you want to hear. So be careful, ask more questions, take the time that you need to make the appropriate decision. There isn't anything wrong with that. And the right person will give you that time, right? They aren't going to force you, especially if this is someone who is remorseful, especially if this is someone who did you wrong, you know. Of course, don't rush back into it because it's important that you do believe your eyes, you do believe your experiences, like we were talking about earlier, believe in your past experiences. That's why it becomes very important in your future. You know, life is cyclical. It's not always the same person that's coming back in. Could be a new relationship, but use the wisdom gained, you know, from this last encounter in order to handle this properly. Let's take a look at the Ace of Pentacles down here next, Six of Wands. Yeah, guys, money is looking really, really good. And I think that with that money is going to come some very nice recognition. I think that you guys are being looked up to. I think that a way that you'll be making money will be in the in the public eye. Like, I think you're going to be seen. King of Cups. I think that you guys are going to be, there's going to be a water sign that's going to present you with this opportunity here. It looks really nice, and it looks like you can trust it. I feel like it's your karma. It's something that you've worked very hard at. It's something that you've worked very hard at. So this looks like a reward down here in the second half of the month. Quite nice. Let's take a look at the Wheel of Fortune. Seven of Wands. It's important that guys, it's so important that you believe in yourself and that you believe in your ability. It sounds kind of corny, but it really does all start there. If you don't believe it, if you don't see yourself in certain positions, if you don't, you know, assume those roles with every fiber of your being, you have to avail yourself. You have to allow, you know, these blessings into your life. Don't fight them. Accept those bouts of peace in between the wars, Aries, like we were talking about earlier. Let down some of your walls, and it's okay to let people in. Just while you're doing that, you know, have a good understanding of your boundaries and how those work and what those are, because I do think that there are some new relationships that are forming here. I think that they're going to have a slow start, but I do think that they will be long lasting. Two of Cups, Six of Cups. The Sun. Yeah, it just looks so good. It just looks so good. Five of Cups and the Knight of Swords. I think that you guys can confidently seize new opportunities that come your way. You know, don't worry about the things that didn't work out. You know, just let those opportunities go, let them die. And allow new ones to come in their place. Because they want to, they're here for you in the new year. Bones for casting, divination. You guys are very spiritual people. A lot of people don't know that about Aries, or maybe they do, but you guys are very spiritual. And this is one of my favorite cards in this deck, not only because I'm a tarot reader, but it is I read the cards intuitively, and what this card signifies when it comes out, it's that it's encouraging you to look for deeper meaning in your life. Look for deeper meaning in your experiences. It can't be all surface level. We can't, you know, quickly just gloss over things and race through. We can't just accept things as they are, at face value. And I just said that you can confidently embrace new opportunities that are coming in. And yes, yes, you guys absolutely should, because that's going to be the healthier thing to do rather than clinging to opportunities or time lost. But this bone for casting card coming out wants you to see the beauty in those new opportunities, see the deeper meaning behind them, think of the possibilities. New love interests coming in or old ones coming back. Look for that deeper meaning is the advice here. Look, you know, look for what may be laying beneath the surface in order to help you make the decisions that are going to ultimately determine the course of your life. This is your reading for January, Aries. If you enjoyed, I hope you did. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.